Hello, this is the lecture number 2 for the chapter permutation and combination, and in the last lecture we're discussing the first exercise and we have done up to question number 3 there. Now in question number 4, it is given that you have to make a 5-digit telephone number and the number should start with 67 and the repetition is not allowed. It is given in the question. So let us do it. We have 5-digit telephone number, so let the places I call it first, second, third and fourth place. Now because the number will start with 67, so at the first place we have only one option to fill it, that is only 6 we can have here. Now at the second place also fixed, because at the second place the number should be 7 because the number is starting with 67, and therefore the number of ways we can fill the second place is only 1 because we can use only 7 here. Now the number of ways we can fill up the third place is 8 because we have the digits 0 to 9, that is total 10 digits, and from those 10 digits we have used 2 digits, so we have only 8 digits remaining which can be placed here. So how many options we have to fill up the third place? We have 8 options to fill it. Similarly, the number of ways to fill up the fourth place of this telephone number is 7 because out of 10 digits we have used 1, that is 6 at the first place, second as the second 7 at the second place, and from the remaining 8 we have used 1 of them at the third place. So remaining 7 out of 7 remaining digits we can use any one of them at the fourth place. The number of ways to fill up the fourth place is 7 only. Similarly, the number of ways we can fill the fifth place is any one out of the remaining 6 because we have used 4 digits out of 10 at the first, second and third, fourth place. So the number of ways we can fill the fifth place is only 6. So total number of telephone numbers is starting with 67 where the repetition is not allowed is 1 into 1 into 8 into 7 into 6 by the fundamental principle of counting. So this is the question number 4. Now in question number 5, it is given that there is a coin which is tossed 3 times. So how many possible orders are there? Now when we throw a coin, at the first throw we have only 2 options, that is head or tail can be there on the first throw of the coin. Similarly, on the second throw, again we have only 2 options, that is head or tail can occur on that coin. And on the third throw also, we have only 2 options or 2 outcomes can be there, that is head or tail. So by fundamental principle of counting, total outcomes when a coin is thrown 3 times is 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. 8 possible outcomes are there if you throw a coin 3 times, or if you throw 3 coins only 1 times. Now in question number 6, we have to make a signal using only 2 flags of 5 different colors flags we have. 5 different colors flags we have, and you have to make a signal using only 2 of them, and it is given that the colors of the 2 flags should be different. So how many number of options we can choose? The first flag is 5. Out of 5 flag we can choose any one of them. So the number of option to choose a first flag is 5, and the number of option to choose the second flag is only 4 because out of 5 1 is already chosen and we cannot choose that because it is given that the colors of the flag should be different. So the number of total signals that can be made out of these 5 flags in which both of the flags should be different is 5 into 4 by fundamental principle of counting. Now after that, the exercise 7.2 is based on factorial notation. You have to calculate this 8 factorial, which is 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that is 40320. 4 factorial minus 3 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 minus 3 into 2 into 1, that is 18. Now you have to find whether 3 factorial plus 4 factorial is equal to 7 factorial or not. You have to find. So first of all calculate 3 factorial, which is 3 into 2 into 1, that is we have 4 factorial factorial, that is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. The total 6 plus 24 is 30. Now 7 factorial is 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So they are not equal to each other, means therefore factorial 3 plus factorial 4 is not equal to factorial 7. Now in question number 3, you have to calculate factorial 8 upon factorial 6 into factorial 2. So for 8 factorial, you can write 8 into 7 into 6 factorial. Why have I written this? Because you can cancel factorial 6 with 6 factorial 6. So it is 28. Now question number 4 is 1 upon factorial 6 plus 1 upon factorial 7 is equal to x upon factorial 8, and you have to find the value of x. So for 1 upon 6 factorial, you can write as it is. For 1 upon 7 factorial, you can write 7 into factorial 6. You know how to find it. You can write for 7 factorial 7 into 6 factorial. For 8 factorial, you can write 8 into 7 into 6 factorial. Why am I doing this? Because you can take 1 upon 6 factorial common in the first and second term of the left hand side. So you'll get 1 plus 1 upon 7, and this factorial 6 will be cancelled out with this factorial 6, and you will get 7 plus 1 upon 7, which is 8 upon 7, is equal to x upon 8 into 7. The value of x will be 64. So this is way you can short it by taking common. Now in question number 5, some expression is given, factorial n upon n minus r factorial, and the value of n and r is given. In the first part, the value of n is 6 and the value of r is 2. So replace the value of n and r in this expression. So factorial 6 is equal upon 6 minus 2 factorial. Calculate it. It is 6 factorial upon 4 factorial, and 6 into 5 into 4 factorial you can write, so that the denominator will be cancelled out. So it is coming out to be 6. So this is the exercise 7.2, which is very easy and based on the factorial notation. Now after that, we have a very important topic of permutation, and listen it very carefully. Now what is the meaning of permutation? A permutation is an arrangement without repetition. This is the main thing. Without repetition in a definite order. Order should be definite of a number of objects taken some or all at a time. Taking some or all at a time. For example, suppose we have 5 persons and you have to arrange them in a line, then arrangement will be without repetition, because when the first person is at the first position, then the second person should be at the next position, because the first person cannot come out of the second position, so the repetition is not allowed. So where the permutation can be used? Where the arrangement is without repetition, when you have to take all of them or some of them at a time. So the number of permutations of n different objects. Listen carefully. We are deriving a formula for the permutation. Suppose we have n different objects taking r at a time. Suppose we have 10 persons, and out of 10 we have to arrange 4 of them in a line. So we have n different objects and taking r at a time, and r is always greater than 0 and less than equal to n. It cannot be more than n, and the objects is denoted by permutation of nr. We have n objects, out of them r is to be arranged without repetition. We can write like this, or this n permutation r. Now how can you prove it? The formula for this. Now there will be as many permutation as there are ways of filling r vacant places. Suppose out of 10 we have to arrange 4 of them in a line. So it means 4 places will be there in which out of 10 person 4 can arrange in their 4 vacant places. Now we have n different things and we have to arrange r of them. It means there will be r vacant places. See it very carefully. R vacant places. I put these circles for the r vacant places. So by fundamental principle counting, for the first place out of n things, we can arrange this first position in n different ways. There are n ways to fill up this first position out of these r vacant places. So for the first place we have n ways to fill up. For the second place we have n minus 1 can be ways we can fill up, because the first place which is filled cannot be used, that object or that thing cannot be used at the second vacant place. So the number of ways we can fill the second vacant place is n minus 1. Similarly, the third place can be n minus 2 ways, and the rth vacant place can be filled up in n minus r plus 1 ways. And because for the second place we have 1 here, so for the r it will be r plus 1 ways. So total number of ways in which the out of 10 things are to be arranged is n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus r plus 1 ways by fundamental principle of counting. So the number of ways of filling r vacant places in succession without repetition out of n object is n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to n minus r plus 1. This is n minus r plus 1. This is n minus r. For the second we have place we have 1. For the first we have n minus 0. For the third we have n minus 2. For the r it will be n minus r minus 1. When you open the bracket it will be n minus r plus 1. So this is the total number of ways in which r objects out of 10 can be arranged. So this is permutation of nr like this. When you multiply numerator and denominator by n minus r minus 1 up to 3 into 2 into 1, multiplying denominator by this. Now this is numerator, see it very carefully, it is n up to 1, it is multiplied, so it will be n factorial, and this is n minus r minus 1 up to n minus r minus 2 up to multiplied up to 3 into 2 into 1, it will be n minus r factorial. And we have discussed this removing the factorial and putting the factorial in the factorial notation, and it will be n minus r factorial, it will be n factorial. So this is the formula for the permutation in which we have n objects and r to be arranged out of them is n factorial upon n minus r factorial. This is a formula for the permutation. Say it very carefully. So the meaning of permutation, that is the arrangements without repetition. Suppose n objects are there and out of them r to be arranged is factorial permutation n r, and its formula is n factorial upon n minus r. This is the main thing how we have obtained. This is the fundamental principle of counting n minus 1, n minus 2 up to n minus r minus 1 to be arranged out of n. R is to be arranged by fundamental principle of counting. Multiply numerator and denominator by n minus r minus 1, n minus r minus 2 up to 3 into 2 into 1. And this is n minus r factorial, this is n factorial because n is multiplied up to 1, so it will be n factorial. Okay, we'll discuss the next exercise in the next lecture. Thank you.